Have you ever had that weird moment you wake up and someone says you were talking in your sleep last night and you have absolutely zero memory of it? It's a strange feeling, isn't it? You might have said something hilarious, something completely random, or maybe you just mumbled. But it really makes you wonder, if you were asleep, then who exactly was doing all the talking?
All right, let's dive right into this because this is the central mystery we have to solve. What is actually going on here? Are you just narrating your dreams out loud? Is there a part of your brain that's just secretly having a conversation without you? Let's find out what's happening inside your head while you're supposedly fast asleep.
So, to get to the bottom of this whole thing, we first need to understand what scientists and doctors actually call this. It's not just some weird quirk you have. It's a real, recognized sleep condition. And here is the official, kind of fancy term for it: somniloquy. As you can see, this isn't just about mumbling a few words. Nope. It can be full-on sentences, shouting, even laughing. But here's the absolute wildest part. The person doing it almost never remembers it. It's like a different part of you grabs the microphone for a late-night show you weren't even invited to.
Okay, so to figure out why this unconscious narrator suddenly starts yapping, we have to go to the scene of the crime, the sleeping brain. Because, sleep isn't just an off switch, it is a surprisingly active and really complex process. See, throughout the night, your brain goes on this whole journey through different stages of sleep. We start by just dipping our toes into light sleep, then we sink down into a really deep sleep, before finally entering the most famous stage of all, REM sleep. You know it as the dream stage. And each part of this cycle is super important. And this, right here, this is the most important stage for our mystery, REM sleep. This is when your brain activity just ramps up like crazy. It's the stage where your most memorable, your most vivid, and let's be honest, your most bizarre dreams all happen. You can think of it as your brain's own personal movie theater. Okay, so we've established the brain is busy, especially during that REM stage. But that still doesn't explain why words actually manage to come out. So how does the thought inside a sleeping brain become a word someone can actually hear? Let's break it down. For most of the time you're asleep, especially during that dream-filled REM stage, your brain does something absolutely incredible. It basically paralyzes your body. It's a built-in safety feature to stop you from physically acting out whatever crazy dream you're having. I mean, imagine dreaming you're flying and then actually trying to jump off the bed. This paralysis prevents that. But, and this is the big but, the system isn't perfect. Every now and then, while your brain is all caught up in a dream or processing information, some of those powerful brain signals manage to bypass that paralysis blockade. They literally leak out and activate the muscles in your vocal cords and your mouth. And this is the crucial moment. Those leaked signals turn whatever's happening in your brain, whether it's a dream, a half-formed memory, or just a random firing of neurons, into audible speech. Your unconscious thoughts are literally given a voice, with zero filter and absolutely no conscious control. Now, this whole idea probably brings up a ton of questions, right? Like, are you just narrating your dreams? And of course, the big one, are you accidentally spilling all of your deepest, darkest secrets? Let's tackle these head on. This is probably the most common assumption out there. If you're talking in your sleep, you must be talking about what you're dreaming. But is that actually true? Well, sometimes, yes, your sleep talking can absolutely be connected to a dream you're having. But, and this is what most people don't know, a lot of the time, it's not. It can just be random brain chatter. Think about it. Your brain is sorting through the day's memories, it's processing emotions, or it's just creating static. So the words that pop out might have absolutely nothing to do with the dream you're in. So, who is most likely to be a sleep talker? Well, it turns out it is way more common in children and teenagers. This is probably because their brains are still figuring out the boundaries between being asleep and awake. But for us adults, the number one culprit is stress. And this really gets to the heart of it. When your brain is overwhelmed by things like stress, not getting enough sleep, or even a fever, those leaky signals we talked about become much, much more likely. It's almost like your brain is too frazzled to maintain that perfect paralysis. All right, let's get to the juiciest question of all. The one that everyone worries about: is your sleep-talking alter ego a truth-telling machine that's gonna blurt out your secret crush, or that you're the one who ate the last of the ice cream? The answer, thankfully for most of us, is a big, resounding myth. Your secrets are probably safe, and let me tell you why. Here's the key thing to remember. Sleep talk is not a confession. The words that come out are usually just random fragments of thoughts, totally disconnected from reality. In fact, sleep talking is considered so unreliable that it is completely inadmissible as evidence in a court of law. So yeah, you can relax. Your secrets are safe. Okay, the final piece of this puzzle is your memory. If you're having this whole conversation in your sleep, why on earth does your brain not record any of it? The reason is surprisingly simple, really. The parts of your brain that are responsible for creating memories, they're mostly offline when you're asleep. Your brain is busy with other more important jobs like cleaning out toxins and repairing itself. So even though your mouth might be talking, the save button for your memories is firmly switched to off. Okay, so we've figured out the what, the why, and the how. But the really practical question is still out there. Is this something you should actually be concerned about? For the vast majority of people, the answer is no. Sleep talking is a totally benign, harmless quirk. It might be a little annoying for your partner, sure, but it's not usually a sign of any serious underlying health problem. It's really just your brain working a little overtime. But if it is becoming disruptive, there are some simple things you can do, and it all comes down to what we call good sleep hygiene. Things like making sure you get enough sleep, managing your stress, and keeping a consistent routine. All of this helps calm down an overactive brain and can really quiet down those nighttime chats. So the next time somebody tells you that you were talking in your sleep, you can just confidently tell them it was your brain processing data. Now that leaves us with one final fun question. We've all got a story about this. What is the weirdest or the funniest thing you've ever said or heard someone else say in their sleep? I'm genuinely curious to know.